Hey, I'm Vaxen. This is my first video I've posted talking about how to actually get better at the game. Yet, here I am. I've been hard start gold and blue throughout my entire Valorant career, but after playing more than 2,000 hours, I'm only now just realizing what I've actually been doing wrong this entire time. And after fixing all the mistakes that I've made, I'm on a 13 win streak in competitive and feel myself improving every gameplay session. I'm going to talk about the mistakes that I've made and fixed for myself, while also having to juggle school and having a life outside of just my computer, and how to actually get better at the game. There are heaps of guides out there that tell you how to get better, but realistically, they don't really help you that much. This is the realistic guide on how to improve as a low-ranked player, coming from a low-ranked player. The moment I realized something needed to change was actually kind of tough. It came back when even my friends stopped wanting to play with me. At first, I just thought it was bad luck, but when they started opting out of playing with me more often, I had to stop and reflect. That's when it hit me. If my own teammates aren't wanting to play with me, clearly something is wrong. I have been stuck at the same rank for way too long, and I knew deep down that something needed to change about the way that I was approaching the game. It wasn't just bad games, it was a pattern of mistakes that I was making over and over again. The realization was a catalyst for everything that came after. I used to think it was just all about skill. If I could just aim better or react faster, I'd climb. After that realization, I understood that the mentality played just as big as a role. My biggest issue was that I played scared. I'd overthink in every fight, and I'd second guess my decisions. Most importantly, I'd always assume that my opponents were better than me. It's easy to fall into this trap, especially when you're stuck in a lower rank. But the moment I shifted my mentality, everything changed. I stopped assuming people I faced played better, and started believing I was just as capable as anyone in that lobby. Once I stopped being scared, I played with more confidence, and I was starting to see real improvements. Once I, myself, realized that I had earned that rank, and that everyone else in that rank was doing just as bad as me, I realized that I was actually might have been better if I just believed in myself and played better. My game sense was one of the biggest things I had to work on. I used to always assume that my opponents were somehow playing at a higher level than I was, which made me hesitate in every situation. But, as I've already said, I realized that people were stuck in the same rank as me, and they were making the same mistakes as well. The key shift was in how I approached fights and positioning. I stopped overthinking every single moment, and I started playing more confidently. I would take more calculated risks, instead of just not taking the risk itself, positioning myself smarter instead of always backing down and letting the duelist do it all. I can do something. Just because I'm playing smokes or an initiator doesn't mean I don't have to entry. I also learned to focus more on watching the minimap and keeping track of where my teammates were, because then I wouldn't just be running in blindly or leaving them behind. It gave me a better understanding of what I was doing wrong in each moment. Before, I had no real warm-up routine. I just jumped straight into ranked without preparing, which is one of the worst things you can do in a game like Valorant. But then, I decided to make a change. I started warming up in deathmatch before every competitive match. My new goal was simple, to come first or second in every deathmatch. If I couldn't do that, I knew I wasn't sharp enough to jump into ranked. This warm-up became a way to get my aim on point, but also mentally prepare myself to play the game. It wasn't just about the score in deathmatch, it was about getting the right headspace. Starting each session with a goal gave me a clear sense of what I wanted to do. It wasn't always just to win, it was to actually do something. One of the hardest parts of being stuck in gold was dealing with frustration. I used to blame my teammates when things went wrong, assuming that if they'd played better, I'd win. But that mindset was toxic. It wasn't helping me improve, it was only holding me back. My excuses didn't change my rank. I had to learn to take ownership of my gameplay. Instead of getting carried away and blaming others, I'd ask myself, what could I have done better? If I couldn't carry the game, I knew I needed to work on my own performance, not just rely on teammates to bail me out. I also made a point of staying positive and encouraging others. Whenever someone did something good, I'd compliment them. That little bit of positivity helped boost team morale. I also noticed that teammates played better when I kept things light and supportive, instead of raging at them. That only ever made them play worse. If I can't carry a game, and if I can't help my teammates, I don't deserve it. I didn't go down the typical route of watching streams or YouTube guides to get better. Instead, I learned from playing with people who were better than me. I focused on playing scrims with high-level teammates and opponents. Being in those matches forced me to adapt quickly. I couldn't just rely on the basic plays or old habits I used to think and calm. I had to think on my feet and adjust to what they were doing. And those moments, learning experiences, they taught me more than just watching videos ever could. I learned about things like map control, taking smart engagements, and working as a team, all just by playing the game. By experiencing that, instead of just watching someone else do it, it made me improve a lot faster. For the longest time, I was hesitant to use my map. I didn't want to be the bottom frag, who was also calling out and possibly getting flamed. But once I realized how important communication is in Valorant, I forced myself to speak up. It wasn't just about calling out enemy positions, it was about boosting the people around me. I started calling out important information, giving encouragement when someone did well, and even keeping things calm when things weren't going perfectly. I've learned that the more you communicate, the better your team plays, and positive communication can carry you a lot further than you might think. While many people in lower ranks think that crashing out is just the best solution, it's really not. Balancing gaming with school life and life outside of Valorant was something I struggled with for a long time. I found myself grinding late into the night. It was draining. I realized I needed to make a change before the burnout hit. So I set a strict rule of myself. No more than 3 hours of gaming on school nights. This allowed me to focus on other aspects of my life and school and spending time with friends. But more importantly, it gave me mental space to improve without feeling like I had to grind every single day. Instead of just playing more, I focused on improving during those 3 hours. Instead of grinding ranked, I'd grind deathmatch and grind aim labs. It helps me boost my aim, and it made it so that I wouldn't lose heaps and heaps of RR after getting tilted after every single game. We've all been there. When I started my 13-game win streak, it wasn't just because I was playing better mechanically, or it improved my game sense. It was because I started actually believing in myself. It wasn't about being cocky. It was about having the self-assurance to take risks. If you don't take risks, you can't make big plays. And if you can't make big plays, you'll be stuck in either the middle or the bottom of the leaderboard, never actually having any impact. So, if you're stuck in a rank or you feel like you're not improving, remember, the journey to climbing doesn't involve getting better mechanically. It's about shifting your mindset and playing smarter, and managing your time and energy. Once you start applying these changes to both your mentality and your gameplay, you'll start seeing results, and your mechanical skills will improve as your mental improves. Thank you for watching. I hope my journey helps you to get to the next level. I'll see you in another video, but let's be real, that probably won't happen for a while. The moment I realized something needed a change was actually kind of tough on me. It came back when even my friends started wanting to not play with me. At first, I thought it was just bad luck when they started opting out of playing with me more often. I had to stop and reflect. That's when it hit me. My own teammates aren't wanting to play with me. Clearly, there is something wrong. I've been stuck at the same rank. What the fuck, man?